Hey Maria, how are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing fine. Things here are different. It's changing. Sometimes it's more calm, sometimes it's not. This time, today and yesterday, it was not really calm, and we had a lot of sirens. But I hope this will stabilize soon. But generally speaking, everything is fine today, and I'm fine too.
All right, I hope we have a calm day today. Um, but where were you? When was it when you first learned about the invasion starting?
We were at home in Kiev. We were sleeping. It was night of 24th of February, like morning, let's say morning 24th. Like the evening before, I was watching news. I was watching news every day, like during 2 weeks before it started. I woke up and I read news. I When I went to bed, I read news. I was looking for some signs that something bad is happening or something good is happening. I really wanted to see that nothing is um, we're not in danger, but there was not such news. And in the morning of 24th of February, it was like 5:20 a.m. My grandmother called me, and like I remember she couldn't even pronounce this. She called me and she asked if I was sleeping, and I was like disappointed and half sleeping. I'm like, yes, of course I'm sleeping. And I asked what happened, and she was silent, and I was like disappointed, and I was also sleeping. I didn't understood why is she calling, but like the fact that she was calling such early was really not a good sign because she never does that. And then I asked again, like, what's going on, grandmother? And she said it started. Like she couldn't even tell what, and I had to ask what started because I wanted to sleep. I didn't realize what's happening, and she's saying like the war has started, and then like as in the movie, I hear sirens outside. I hear the word war, and I wake up everyone, and like the panic starts. I saw like I went to the window and I saw people running around, people with children, with pets, with their suitcases, in the cars, at traffic, and everybody is scared. Nobody knows what to do. The sirens, and it was just really scary to wake up like this. And with the fact that we like till the very end we all didn't want to believe this is going to happen, and we told everyone like every day that everything will be fine. Even like the evening before, I was talking to my sister, and she said that they had a call in the company that she works for, and they were discussing the threat, and she was scared after this call because they're planning some stuff. And I told her everything will be fine. There are no signs that something will happen. Even if there will be any signs, we're going to leave, and everything will be fine with us. And then like 6 hours later it happens, and it was really unexpected, I think. And
Hmm.
like we had
But
everything. Yeah,
oh,
sorry.
go ahead.
um, we we had everything packed, and my sister came really soon, and we packed in the car, and we left the home. But at this moment, we all had strong feeling that it's not going to take long time. I took 2 or 3 pairs of socks with myself. I thought that it's going to be enough because it's going to take a couple of days or a week maximum. And we didn't really think um, about like having this for such a long time.
Right, right. But thankfully, you and those closest to you had some preparation. Um, so what happened next? You got all your stuff. You're out of the house, out of the apartment. You have to go pick up your friend. Is what was the next period of time like for you?
Um, so um, we actually, so we waited at home for sister, and we packed everything to the car, and we like just sat in a car and left home in the direction outside of Kiev. We drove to the western part of Ukraine, to the Lviv city, where Doximi has opened Lviv office, Leviev Hub, for anyone who would like to work here, but also in case of emergency, this hub it became the place where everyone could stay. And we knew that there is such place, and we were driving here. But actually, it was really the longest trip I've ever had. It took 26 hours to reach Lviv, when usually, like normally, it takes 11 hours driving. It was 26 hours, and the road was really hard. I can really tell a lot about this trip, but generally speaking, it was really horrible. So there were like thousands of people trying to escape the city, a huge traffic. We sometimes were moving with the speed less than 0.6 miles per hour. So it's like no speed at all. And people in cars were horrified, and people on the streets were trying to catch the car and also leave the city. And we heard prayer sounds of bombing. And I really had a couple of stages of realizing that the war is happening. And it was really like unique experience, let's say. So like at first I heard about the war when I woke up, and my grandmother told me that there is a war. I heard about this, and then I saw it. It was like fifth hour of driving. We were still in the city, and we saw tanks and huge vehicles on the streets and on the side of the road, and they were moving to the place where the huge fight took place, right near the Kiev. It was really close to us, and I saw all these machines, and but it felt like I'm watching a movie. Like I'm in a car, I have this glass, and I see these cars, and I don't feel that I'm in here too with them, and I couldn't believe that this is happening to me right now. And then like it was when I saw the war, and then when I really felt the war, it was also like 6 or 8 hour of driving. We were still outside, like trying to escape the city, and some heartbreaking news arrived, and news about some Ukrainian soldiers got killed. And that was the moment where I really understood that the war is here, and people are dying, and it's going to be cruel, and there will be a lot of sad things happening. And this is where it caught me at that moment. And I finally, like after like 10 hours from the moment I woke up, I understood that I really woke up, and then I understood that this is real, this is close, this is right here outside of my car. And when we heard from the car that was right near us, like mom tells a child that you should eat, because in case if you will need to run, you will not have enough power to run if you're not going to eat. It was just heartbreaking. Like this was opening eyes, and you understand how actually horrible is what's going on right now. And it was the first day, and in this whole panic, this understanding was like eye-opening thing. But actually, the good thing here, like the road was really hard, and there's a lot to tell about this road, but I will not, because it's going to be too long. But just a good thing I wanted to mention is that when we were driving, we were really happy to understand that in Lviv here, there is someone who is waiting for us. There was our HR, Ukrainian HR, Liza Zhukova, and she is also my friend. And I knew that she is here in Lviv, in this hub, and we are driving like right here. And when you forget for a moment about everything that's going on, this feeling that someone is waiting for you, and you are going to be at least with a roof and in a safe place, it was really supporting us inside, and we were keeping driving, and we finally reached the place. And we are really lucky that our company prepared a space where we could at least rest and also live for some time.
Yeah. Feeling like your journey has an end in sight must be very a real, not relaxing, but a comforting feeling. Um,
Yeah.
you said you don't want to talk about the whole ride, the whole car trip, because it would be too long. But is there one story from there that you would be willing to share with me?
Um, yeah, so there were a lot of cars, and everyone tried to reach some destination point. There are a lot of possible destination points on the road from Kiev to Lviv because it's a huge amount of territory. It's like the half of Ukraine, and there were less and less cars. But as we were driving, we stopped a couple of times. We didn't sleep in the road, but we stopped a couple of times to drink coffee or to, just rest for 5 minutes. And the farther we were from Kiev, the less cars were on the, like, panicking, let's say, on the gas stations. But there still were a lot because a lot of people were stopping there to sleep because it's secure. There are cameras and nobody will do anything to you, and it was safer to sleep there, not somewhere on the side of the road. Um, at some point, we stopped to prepare food. We actually took a gas balloon and a backpack kitchen because I was like, I had an old kitchen that is fitting into the backpack, and you can just combine the pieces and you will get some fire, and you can boil water here or you can cook something. And we stopped and we gathered this kitchen and we boiled water, and we finally had some hot food because on the gas stations there was nothing. We prepared some tea for us, and we also ate noodles and some meat and fish from the can. So it was the first experience of my sister and my boyfriend from eating outside using this field kitchen, because I did that before when I was camping, and I always wanted to show them how this is being done. It was really funny experience for them, unfortunately, in such like critical situation. But we actually took this. We also took sleeping bags with ourselves because we didn't know where we were going to live. Like, we didn't know how it's going to be. Will we be able to live in a city? So we even thought that we were going to sleep in the car. So we bought a lot of stuff to live in the car, and was looking to buy this camping tent to also live somewhere in the forest in case if we will need to. There was a lot of panic on the gas stations near Kiev. Um, they accepted only cash, and there was nothing in the shop. And there was a woman; she was standing at the door and she didn't let people to come inside the gas station to use the toilet or to buy coffee. She was counting people inside, and then when somebody exited, she was screaming with a strange voice like, two people to toilet. And you were standing in a line. Like, it was so so creepy at some point because you're nervous, and then you see something really strange happening on the gas station. Never it have happened before, and you think like you're in some parallel world when all the gas stations are going to look like this. So this was really interesting trip. It was scary. It was really hard. It was nervous. We were like listening to news, reading news, contacting parents, contacting friends all the time. A lot of communication and a lot of new information and a lot of stress. But we did it, and I am grateful for this experience, and I understand that this was also necessary for us to be now in safe place. So this is the part of the journey too.
All right. And so, are you in the Leviev Hub now?
We were staying there for almost a month, and um, we didn't plan to stay there for such long time. We wanted to rent a flat, a separated one, but there was a huge problem with the space where to live because everything that was uh, available was taken, and some options were available on some websites, but the price was much higher than would normal price be. So we were for a long time we were looking for a normal apartment to live separately, and finally, like after a month, I think we found it, and now we are renting like a flat near the hub, and but we were able to stay in Lviviev Hub, and there were people coming and going, and we all lived here like a family. Everybody knew each other because we were working. Maybe some people have not seen other people live in real life, but then we all met here, and we lived here together, and it was really funny experience.
Good. I'm glad you got to make those connections with, our colleagues and friends. Um, how are you now? Do you feel safe?
So I think I generally feel safe now, but deep inside, I know that nobody in Ukraine is safe, honestly, because you never know where the next rocket or missile is going to mm, drop. Sorry. And you never know what's going to
Right.
happen to your city. Here in the West, it's much safer than in center or in any other area because it's closer to the border with European countries. It's far from the place where the major fights are taking place now. But still, you can tell that you're completely safe and you can live the normal life like it was before, at least in some way. And but good thing is that it's like not good thing, I can tell like this, but basically it's today is the 51st day of war, and now we, all of us, and I personally, are much more like experienced in how to live during the war. We understand much more than we did in the first day, and it's becoming easier to accept what's going on and to continue living. This sounds sad, but it's true, and now it's less dangerous for sure for all of us. This feeling of um, unsafety, like inside, unsafety inside, is going to remain with Ukrainians for a long time, just because it's this is how we are like living now, and even when the war will end, we will still keep this unsafety somewhere deep inside, and we will need to work on this as a whole nation to help everyone. Luckily, all my relatives are safe. Um, Everyone who lived in Kiev, they stayed in Kiev, and they some of them joined territorial defense. Some of them are just helping in their house to patrol the area to buy supplies for the house and for older people. Uh, my mother, she is living in a village near Kiev, and this area was occupied from the third day of war. But luckily, my mother was visiting her friends in Poland a day before the war started, and actually, when the war started, she was in Poland, and she decided to stay there. And I'm so happy for this coincidence because she was not really thinking about what she's going to do, and if she stayed in that village where she's living, she could live under occupation for more than a month. So uh, good news that she's safe and she's fine now. Yeah, all the rest are in Kiev and they are also safe. Um, so one of the reasons why we decided to move from Kiev to some other area, if the war will start, was that we knew that we are working remotely and we will have a work after the war starts, and we will be able to work. We just need to move to some place where there will be appropriate conditions for us and safe conditions. We actually, how to say, we didn't know how the war looks like, and we were thinking that if we relocate somewhere where it's safer, the war will almost not touch us. In some, I don't know how to explain this, but like mentally, you separate yourself where it's safe from the war that is happening somewhere else. But this was actually not true, and we now understand that unfortunately, all the everything that's happening right now with other people on this war is also happening to us, and we feel this. And I feel this pain every day. I experience this whole war as if I was somewhere in Kiev or in other dangerous place. It's still heartbreaking, and it's touching everyone. And a lot of people are now feeling the survivor's guilt, and me too, of course, because this is, you can't just live normally in place where it's safer when you know that majority of your other Ukrainians are in constant danger, and this is heartbreaking. But you still have to survive this state somehow. And one one of the things how you can fight this survivor guilt is to try to bring back your routine into the life that we have right now, and that's what I'm trying to do, to keep myself like functioning and in normal state. So I'm most of the time I'm working right now because I have work, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity, and I'm really grateful for having ability to receive money in Ukraine, because we also didn't know if it's going to happen, if banks will stop working. And I'm working, and this is my number one mission, I think. And also, I'm trying to do the things that I did in my normal life, like burning candles, going to shop, I don't know, cooking, and having everyday walks near my home, just because this was what I did in my life before the war, and this is what makes me feel a little bit more normal than if I didn't do that. Yeah. During the first weeks, we were actively volunteering almost every day because we were shocked. We arrived to Lviv. We understand that the war has started, and we needed to feel that we are useful too. So we all were doing a lot of stuff. Basically, we were buying some food or necessary medicine or other products that were requested by shelters or by army, and delivering them. We were also physically helping in some humanitarian centers. Usually, me and my sister, we were helping with clothes. We were sorting clothes by age, by gender, and also packed the packages for refugees that came. So they come and they tell what they need, and we pack this for them and give to them. So this was like physical help. Also, there were like a lot of volunteers actually, and there still are, and everybody is very active in this area. We were also helping friends to send packages from Europe to other cities of Ukraine. So from Europe, something arrives to Lviv. Here we take it and then manage how to send it to different cities, finding volunteering cars which can deliver or something like this. So this was also important thing, because logistics is one of the weakest parts of the whole volunteering and aid delivery process. Yeah, so also there is a cyber army, and anybody can join this, and we also helped here, and I still help in some way sometimes, because this is very interesting experience to help with the truth spreading and blocking some resources that are spreading lies about what's happening. But I have to say that right now we're not that active in volunteering because, as in the first weeks, this weeks we are also like this first weeks there were transition from our normal life to war, and then trying to find out the war-life balance, and we now are trying to like to find the balance between everything. And I still most of the time I'm working, but I also am helping if I can help, but not in such active way as before.
Yeah, I understand. I've heard of work-life balance, but war-life balance is a entirely different, very tragic thing. Um, so, and, and I'm sure everybody is appreciative of the volunteering you have done, but also doing work is providing value for Ukraine. Joining this cyber army sounds like a very fulfilling way of engaging with what's going on around you as well. Um, how do you feel about the response to the war, both by the people of Ukraine and by the rest of the world?
First of all, I I feel a lot of support. This is very for I don't know for everyone, for everybody else, but for myself, it's very unexpected. Maybe I don't know why. I was prepared for a worse scenario, let's say, but now I see, and I'm so grateful for the world seeing this and hearing this and not closing eyes on what's going on. And we all feel this and we see this support, and we understand that we are not alone, and we keep fighting because we see that we are supported, that we are appreciated, and this everything that Ukraine now does is not only for Ukraine, it's also for the whole world. Ukraine has united a lot, like we are now very united nation, and it was always like this in the hard times, and now it's especially visible. And even the people who are outside of Ukraine right now, they're still trying to help any way they can, and this is an incredible feeling, to be honest, because because this is very important. I think like part of any nation description. If you are united, you are unstoppable. You can do anything, and I have no doubt that we will win this war. And basically, inside Ukraine, there is a huge support, and everybody is doing their job to help and to resist and to fight. Um, the world is seeing this; they are responding. I am very happy that we are finally starting to receive some help as like technique and planes and tanks and this stuff, because it was really hard before. We have enough people to fight, but we may not have this much techniques and vehicles to fight on and to keep fighting for a long time. And now finally we are seeing the response of the world. Unfortunately, as somebody could say, it's sometimes it's too too sorry, I forgot the word.
It's
It
okay.
might be too late sometimes. That's what I wanted to say, because like if maybe if we had this support earlier, then maybe some bad things would not happen. But this is the way, and we what is happening now is what it is, and we can't change it. So anyway, I think everybody is grateful for all the support that we get from other countries. Is it some help with refugees? Is it just words or physical help with the stuff for the army. This is all very important, and we couldn't stand without this support. So I'm personally really grateful for the response of the world, and I hope that it will continue. And the only thing I would like to maybe wish in this is that so the world doesn't forget about this, because the memory can remove something from your memories, and we just need to make sure that nobody forgets what happened and who is guilty for this.
Right. Um, Maria, is there anything else you'd like to share with me before we close?
There is one interesting thought I wanted to share. It's about living now during the war in a safer place, let's say. Um, for myself personally, the hardest thing was to continue to live and to try to live normal life as a human. And I remember after the first or the second week of the war, our government told us, guys, please go to restaurants, go to cinema, grab a cup of coffee, go shopping, spend money, please do these things that you usually do, and live your normal life. And I was shocked, because basically, how can I feeling with this constant guilt here where there are restaurants, but I can't even think about going there, because I understand there is war, and how can I go and do these things? And this is the moment when it was hard to realize, but this is this thing when you watch the movie about the war, and you see that every character of this movie is engaged in the war. Somebody is fighting, somebody is hiding, somebody is helping, somebody is healing someone, and we never ask ourselves where are the rest of the people, like all the other people that were living in this city or a country. Where are they? Uh, and I always thought that these people doesn't exist. They just don't exist. And now I'm one of the rest people in one of the groups of such people, and I understand that all these people all the time, they were basically helping to support the economy of the country. They were helping to for a country to not to die because of economical problems, because the war is like it's like you have now two worlds you live in. One is your normal world when you go to the work and you do your normal things as you do in your life, and there's always also a war, and you have to live in these two worlds at the same time. And we need to remember that even we have a war and it's horrible, and everything that's going on is it's heartbreaking, but we also have to live, and we have our life that's continuing. And no matter what we are doing now, are we in the army or are we abroad now, we need to continue to live, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and we still have some time, and we have an ability to live our life as we did before. Of course, we need to remember and we need to help, but it's quite important to not to forget that you have your life and it's continuing right now, and it's not like the war and everything stopped. You and country have to move on in this new reality of war, but we should continue moving.
Yeah, and the fact that just by living your life and working and spending, you are supporting your country is really important. And so I'm sure, uh, I hope to see you live a very long and fulfilling life. I don't know if I'll be there for all of it, but but I wish that for you. And thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, Maria, for taking the time to talk with me today and sharing your story with me.
Thank you very much for interviewing me and for the effort to share our stories with the world. This is inspiring and this means a lot
All
to
right.
us.